Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, my hair's in a ponytail. I made the mistake of going to sleep with my hair wet but not picked up. Yeah, paying for it this morning. It's in rare form. So today's video is kind of exciting. I know you guys have been expecting it, but it is gonna be first impressions on the Natasha Denona Glam palette. And I'm gonna be using my Rephr brushes with this palette. I'll go into that in a minute, why I purchased these brushes in case for those of you who are new or maybe haven't watched my previous videos. I'm also gonna be demoing the Natasha Denona Love Cheek Duo palette. I got this is one of the items I picked up during the Sephora sale. It was a random buy, so we don't know. I'm also going to be demoing the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. This is something I hauled prior to the Sephora sale, so without further ado, let's get started. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so I've already put foundation on, and I am wearing my Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. This is in the color Natural 11. This is just like, it's a pressed powder, and on the bottom you have like a sponge, but I actually use my IT Cosmetics foundation brush to apply my powder foundations. I have applied some Chanel Soleil de Tan bronzer. This is the original formula, not the new one. And I haven't set my face with my mineral veil yet because we have a cream blush that I want to try out. Just disclaimer, I have never used any of Natasha Denona's blushes or eyeshadows, so I am very new to this. So any recommendations in your comments down below would be greatly appreciated. And I almost forgot, I have primed my lids with my Bare Minerals Gen Nude primer in Bright AF. And actually the AF stands for Bright and Flawless. Not what you were originally thinking, because Bare Minerals keeps it classy. You know what I mean? All right, I love their primers, their shadow primers. So, this is just the shade that I'm using today. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna start off with the cheek product. Just wanna give you a close-up of this. This is what it looks like. I will also be inserting different shots of this. I did, film this outside in natural light as well. Even though this video is in natural light, I kind of just wanted to give you a better close-up, dimensions, and all that. I'm going to be applying this on one side of my face with my Real Techniques 227 brush, and this is the light layer powder brush. And reason being is I don't wear cream blushes, so this is the first cream blush I own because I usually wear powdered products, and I have oily skin, so I don't want to keep adding more cream and luminosity to my skin, so I tend to shy away from cream blushes. But this highlighter was actually so stunning that I had to try it, and I've heard really good reviews. I heard the dry down on this blush is actually matte, so let's try it out. I'm just gonna go in with a light hand because from what I've seen on people's videos, I also have another mirror here, so if you see me looking this way, it's just because my viewfinder is very small and it's hard for me to see detail. And I'm just gonna pat this on my cheek. Okay, I haven't picked up anything, so let's try that again. Now this light layer brush is designed to pick up minimal product. I was very concerned when I saw this product launch and there wasn't a cover over the blush, But apparently the highlighter is a gelée formula, and so there won't be kick up, which means it won't fall into your blush. We'll see. So I'm slowly applying this because you can have a lot of blush real quick. All right, so I already feel like I picked up too much right now on this brush. You guys see that? I can see it, but I don't know if it's showing up on camera. I'll keep layering it on so you all can see it. Now, the reason I'm demoing this, I wouldn't necessarily pair this blush with this cool tone palette, but I kind of wanted you guys to see it because the Sephora sale will be over soon. And if you wanted to pick it up, now would be the time. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with the tone of this blush. I really didn't think that this color would look good on me. But as per usual, Michelle Wong hauled this, and her and I have similar skin tones, and it looked good on her. So I was like, you know, and it looked, and she didn't like, I don't quite remember, but she said it was a matte dry down. There wasn't luminosity, and she prefers a little luminosity in her blush. And I was like, I'm gonna try it because I love a blush. I love a matte blush. I don't like sheen in my blush at all. So when I saw this tone, I'm like, that's really pink. I don't think that's gonna do well, you know, on my skin tone here. I don't think that's gonna work out for me. You know what would be awesome? If I would use the mirror that's on here instead of struggling with weird angles. And nothing brings me more joy than to peel these things off. It's wonderful. Never gets old. All right, so I even had a wet beauty blender here in case I applied too much. It has some foundation on it, in case I had to like blend it out. But I actually like the tone, and I believe that it's this brush. It allows me to pick up a minimal amount of product. Now, I did pile this on a little bit just because I wanted it to be able to show on camera, but in my day-to-day life, I would actually wear less blush. I don't wear a lot of blush, but I do like this tone. Now, because this is a cream blush, I am gonna go and set my face now with my Bare Minerals translucent mineral veil. You guys know I love this stuff. This is my favorite setting powder. It's so natural. It's very light on the skin. Now, because my bronzer and my blush is cream, I decided to leave this step out. Usually my blush is powder, and so I just immediately set my face after I apply my my bronzer. So just applying that all over my face, down my neck, because my skin hasn't seen the light of day in a solid like 8 months. Yeah, true story. True story. That's why, guys, like, do you not see the pastiness through the camera? I know you see it because I could see it. All right, so I'm using my IT Cosmetics powder brush. This powder brush just picks up like a light amount, and you're able to like feather it out. So I really like the IT Cosmetic brushes. They are synthetic, but I've set my face. Now let's go in with the highlight. I'm using an IT Cosmetics highlight fan brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and dip my brush in here. I don't see this is picking up much product here, so I'm not sure if it's because I'm using a synthetic brush. Let me try to swirl it in here. Okay, this isn't picking up much. Oh, it is. It is. Okay. Okay, you can't see it on the bristles, but I guess I'm not familiar with Gillette formulas. Oh, that is gorgeous. Do you guys see that? So it is more gold than it is pink. It does have a slight pink to it. So it kind of gives me like rose gold vibes. But it's not like too much, you know what I mean? And it really has no kick up. Like, look at my blush right now. There's not a single speck of highlight on there. Now you can really pound this on. I just think because of the lighting, I'd rather show you this side. You guys see that? That's really nice. You can really pound this on if you want to, but this is good just right here. I'm good with that rose gold sheen. It's really nice. I feel like it's not as strong and as crazy looking as it is in the pan. So for those of you who have oily skin like me, you really like a light makeup application. You tend to shy away from very strong colors. I totally recommend this. Like my first impressions on this, I really like it, and I honestly wasn't expecting to like this. And let's just talk about the packaging right now. The packaging is the extra bonus, but can we just, this speaks to my inner child right here. I love this. I don't think it's childish. I think it's cute, and I love it. In case you guys were wondering, it comes in this awesome hot pink box, and the Glam palette comes in this gray box. I always like to show the packaging for those of you who may want to know. All right, so now let's move on to eyeshadow. By the way, for those Ember fans out there, did you guys know this Ember mug came out in rose gold? I'm not picking it up because I already have the copper one, and if I had to choose, I do prefer the copper tone over the rose gold. But I think that's pretty awesome. I think what they need to do is come out with more colors of the travel mug, because I am thinking about purchasing that. So right off the bat, what I love about this palette is a good size mirror. I love that. I have never bought a single Natasha Denona palette because I don't like a lot of shimmer. I don't wear a lot of those shocking, like heavy pigmented glitters eyeshadows. I don't know, it's just not something that I gravitate to, especially on my day-to-day life. But I actually was on Instagram, because Instagram is it's the devil. If you know, you know. And I saw this makeup look on a beautiful, I think she's German. I follow her on Instagram. I can't remember her name right now, but when I looked up, like on the description, like what palette she was using, it was this one, and I was in absolute shock because it was such a beautiful, beautiful look. But I watched Mandy Lee. Mandy Lee is an amazing YouTuber, and she uses her Rephr brushes when she's using her Natasha Denona palettes. And I've seen several YouTubers use natural haired brushes when using Natasha Denona palettes, which I figured doesn't require them to use their finger. I hate using my fingers when applying makeup. I don't know why. I don't like the feeling of it. I don't know, it's just an extra step. I have to wash my hands twice. I'm in a hurry in the morning. It happens. We all have our thing, you know? You're like, Isabel, stop being so dramatic. I can't. Naturally, I am this way. I am dramatic, I'm extra, but you follow me, so we relate to each other. On some level, you find me entertaining. So let me stop talking and get on with this. Here's one more up close before I dip into this. Okay, so I'm going to be naming off the Rephr brushes I'll be using. They're by number. I have never used Rephr brushes. I don't own any natural hair brushes. I only own synthetic hair brushes, Real Techniques, It Cosmetics, Bare Minerals. So this is gonna be my first impressions as well using natural hair brushes. So we're embarking this journey together. All right. So the first brush I'm going to use is the number 1 brush, and I'm going to dip into the transition shade. I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that Natasha Denona was telling you where to place these palettes, but as somebody who's never used her eyeshadows, I found this to be very helpful. I'm not a makeup artist. I am not a professional. So this, I felt like, took a lot of work out of, you know, using her palettes, because it's a lot of glitter, they're heavy pigmented, and they are intimidating. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. It is an intimidating, you know, palette for me. So I'm just going to apply transition all over my lid. I am using a light hand because her eyeshadows are super pigmented. This is a first impressions video. If you guys want me to do a part 2 with swatches and a couple of different looks, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to do that for you. Remember, I also have the bronze palette, which I will be demoing in another video as well. So I've applied transition all over my lid, and it is a very like neutralizing color for me. It really covers up like my green veins and all that. So next I'm going to go in with, all right, my number 15 brush, and this is a typical hold on a second, let me situate myself here. I don't have a lot of space. It's just a typical crease brush, and I'm just gonna follow this here. I'm gonna dip into this crease brush, and I am gonna have to point them out because there are several smoke, inner corner, outer corner shades. So pointing at these so you guys know which one I'm using, that's why I'm doing it. I'm sorry that it's annoying, but otherwise you guys are not gonna know what color I'm using. So I've lightly tapped my brush in, and I just want you to see how little product I'm actually picking up. It's barely nothing. And already I can see a lot of pigmentation on my crease. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Okay, that's close enough. So I'm just applying this on my crease, and already it's giving me some really nice definition, a very soft definition. These brushes are actually very soft. They are softer than I thought they would be. I have always felt like there's nothing softer than my synthetic brushes, but not the case with Rephr. I've never tried Sonia G brushes. We're not even gonna go there. That's a whole different animal. Those things are like $135. No, $135. Look at me. If they were on sale, it's like $150 for like the pro set and like $160, right, for like the sky set. I don't know, people rave about them. I'm very, you know, intrigued by them, but I just didn't want to spend so much money on brushes I wasn't sure I was gonna like. So I decided to use Rephr just because they're much more affordable. They're still pricey, but they are much more affordable when it comes to natural haired brushes. Natural hair brushes are expensive. So again, they blend the product well. I just applied a little bit of that color on my crease, and I just want you to see how heavily pigmented her eyeshadows are. But if you just lightly dip your brush, they are buildable, which is what I was afraid of. I was afraid that these colors weren't going to be buildable, but they are. So the next shade I want to go in to here is Smoke. This is this shade right here. It's a deep brown. And I am going to use my number 13 brush, which is a small detailed creasing brush. I don't own any brush in this size. And I'm gonna apply that Smoke shade on the deep socket, but just on the outside. So just on the outer portion of the eye. And again, I'm just kind of patting the product and then concentrating that just on that outer half of the crease. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same to the other eye. I'm not getting any fallout with these shades, which I'm very impressed with. Her matte shades are very creamy. They do blend very easily. Just like the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, you guys really know that I love that formula because I don't have to work at blending. So all I've done is deepened out my crease. Now, the next color I want to dip into will be this outer lid color. I'm gonna go ahead and use my number 2 Rephr brush, and I'm going to apply that all over my outer lid. So that's how I'm gonna use it. I'm just following her instructions. This is one of her glittery shades, so I'm gonna pat it on first because I'm already very afraid. All right, so when you use a brush, you get a much lighter application of this shade versus using your finger, which is what one of the Sephora makeup artists told me was if you use a brush with the Natasha Denona shimmery shades, they are not as scary and as pigmented, which in turn make them much more wearable for every day. Because I didn't want to invest on a palette that I could only use if I wanted to do very heavy glam looks, because it's not something that I do. I don't do heavy glam looks, and that's just the truth. So I'm just using this on the outer corner with, again, my number 2 brush. And I haven't sprayed my brush. The brush is dry. Again, zero fallout. And I'm just putting that on the outer corner of my eye. So I kind of want to just even this out here. Give me a second. I'm just blending it a little bit with the number 2 brush. Again, very soft. It doesn't kick up the shadow. You know, some you know, dense brushes can do that. Not the case here. Okay, now I am going to use my, what is this? My number 28 brush. This is much more it's packed. It really is. It's packed in there. Let me just show you. It's a flat brush, and this one looks like I've used it because I actually tried to dip into the Super Shock shades here, which is like, for example, it would be this center lid shade, and I'm gonna use it now because I just want you to show you that you don't have to use your finger. You can actually just use this number 28 brush for it. But let's go ahead and do that, just because, you know, I've got, like, you know, little yellow flowers on my dress today, so let's go ahead and use that beautiful gold again, this bottom center lid shade. This color is actually a different texture than the other shimmering shades in this palette. It is bright. So I'm gonna use this on my center lid, and I'm going to try to blend that into the outer lid shade I just placed down. And again, with a brush, you get a much softer application than using your finger. And look how well it's just blending the color. This brush is doing a really good job of doing that. So because I had zero knowledge of natural hair brushes, I didn't realize that they do have a specific use, and it's really helps when you have these kind of eyeshadow formulas that are very, very strong and beautiful. They're beautiful, but I feel like these brushes really allow you to control and build the amount of pigmentation that you want. So I've applied that to the center of the lid, and I only picked up a little bit. So I'm just blending out the edges. I kind of want to diffuse it. All I'm doing is small strokes. I do have my mirror on the bottom, so that's what I'm looking at, just so that you guys can see that. And let me blend this edge out a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to use this inner corner. Actually, let me just take one good look at this. I want to make sure. Okay. There's a couple of inner corner shades here, but I'm actually going to use this inner corner shade right here. And I'm going to use my number 28 brush because I want a little bit more control, but I'm going to use my color switch just to clean it. If you have any advice on cleaning natural haired brushes, let me know. I actually would have read that it's not good to frequently wash the brushes, that using them like on a cloth to wipe out like the color or like a spray is better. Leave me your comments down below. I want to know if this is true. So I'm gonna go in with inner corner. And I'm just gonna apply that in the inner corner. It's a pretty shimmery shade. And then I'm just blending it into that gold shade. And I'm doing several applications because I am going in with a light hand. I don't want to apply too much because then there is no going back. Again, not experiencing any fallout with these shades. It's really nice. And I'm gonna use my number 3 Rephr brush, which is a very thin pencil brush. And I'm going to dip into that same inner corner shade right there. And I'm gonna actually just do that tear duct area. Again, super light application. I'm very impressed with how soft these brushes are. I know I've said that already, but I really wasn't expecting for them to be as soft as they are. All right. So now I'm gonna use the brow bone shade, which in the pan doesn't seem like a brow bone shade to me, but we're just gonna go ahead and trust Natasha Denona on this. And I'm gonna use my number 27 Rephr brush, which is a bigger crease brush. You know, it's kind of meant for like blending, but I'm gonna do it all at the same time with the brow bone shade. Let's see, who knows, this could go south. We'll see. So I'm just picking up a little bit and just applying that on the brow bone. Okay, with this brush, since it's big and the bristles are less densely packed, they're not like packed together, it does pick up a small amount of product, which allows you to diffuse it into your brow bone. You see that sheen? But I feel like if I were to use a denser, like I feel like if I would have used my number 15 crease brush, would have been too dense. I should try it for the sake of this video, just so you guys see the difference. Let me just apply it with the number 26. And as I'm doing this, I'm actually just blending the crease as well. It's all happening together. All right, so now let me show you what this looks like if I were to use a denser crease brush, number 15. All right, that's already like super strong. Yeah, that sheen, it's there. On the pan, it doesn't look like this would work as a brow bone shade, but she's right, it actually does. At least on my skin tone, it does. And what I like about this is she's actually got a grid, so if you have lighter or a deeper skin tone than I do, you can actually move these colors around. This palette has little holes in the back, and you can just pop out the shades and move them around depending on your skin tones. So I really like that kind of customizable you know, look. So let me go ahead and apply some eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so all I did was apply some of my Chanel eyeliner in 69 Clear on my bottom waterline. I did apply some Tarte liquid eyeliner to the top. I kind of did like a tight line, no wing or anything. I went in with my Chanel primer, lash primer, and then I put on one coat of my Bare Minerals Lash Domination mascara in black. And this is what that looks like. So now we can move on to the Tom Ford brow gel because I haven't applied anything. The color I purchased was Espresso. Actually, if you have dark brown hair like I do, I recommend you go with Espresso Taupe, which I thought was, because I prefer my brow gel to be lighter than darker. I thought taupe was going to work out, but actually taupe is a little too ashy. So it made my eyebrows look very ashy. So I went ahead and picked up Espresso. And this is a much better shade. I've swatched them. I've swatched this color on the back of my hand, but I actually haven't applied this product. So this will be my first time. The only reason I picked this up is because I had a gift card from Bloomingdale's. And Michelle Wong, I mean, clearly I'm a fan, raves about this, and this is her favorite eyebrow gel, but it's extremely expensive. This is a $54 brow gel. I didn't pay that because I had a gift card. So I'm just trying this out for the first time right now with you guys on camera. And I use a brow gel because the hair on my eyebrows is it's thick and long. And they need to stay in place because they can get crazy. They can get crazy. Okay. So light hand with this on first impressions already. I'm gonna tell you, you need a light hand. Product wise, this reminds me a lot of the Gimme Brow from Benefit, but the Gimme Brow actually has a smaller brush, which I actually prefer. It dries down just like the Benefit one. The color is nice. It doesn't make my eyebrows feel crunchy. So first impressions, I like it, but I don't see much of a difference between this one and my favorite one, the Gimme Brow from Benefit. And that's just my first impressions. As I use this, I'll update you guys, but I really don't see much of a difference between that one and, my Benefit one, the Benefit one and the Tom Ford. So that's just my personal opinion. Don't leave me hate comments down below if this is like your holy grail and I've just compared this to a Benefit. That's just my honest opinion. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona lip liner pencil, and I need a nude lip crayon, and NP1 Natasha is the color. And I'm just gonna line my lips. Her lip formula is very creamy. It's pigmented, it glides on like a dream. This is top notch. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is the 4th or 5th time I use her lip liner. It lasts a very long time. Very good formula right here. And I'm gonna go in with my Natasha Denona lipstick in her new, this is the new one that came out. It's Amorosa 36 MP. It is a cool tone nude, so I thought it'd be appropriate for this look. This is the first lipstick that I own from her. I really like it. Very creamy, very pigmented. Packaging, hello. These two things actually launched together because they're part of the same line. I didn't pick up the eyeshadow palette for this just because I already picked up 2 of her palettes and, not trying to go bankrupt here. So let me put down my hair, but this is the completed look. And let me just give you a close-up. So as you can see, that blush did dry down as a matte finish. zero sheen. I had zero fallout with any shade in the palette. It is much wearable if you use brushes and the shimmers are not as intense as you think they are. They're actually really nice. And if you follow her placement of the shadow, I think that you can't go wrong. She knows what she's doing. She's a makeup artist. I should have never doubted her. But because you saw me, I placed those shadows where she recommended I put them, and it came out beautiful. Honestly, this is a look that I would wear every day. Like I said, my hair is it's in rare form. I'm very, very pleasantly surprised. I thought I was going to have to return these products because I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work for an everyday look. This blush is gonna be too bright. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but it's not. It actually works. I mean, you can build it up to as bright as you want it. That highlight, do you see that rose gold sheen? And that's just because I used a synthetic brush. That this fan brush is very spread out at the top. It's not dense. If I would have used a natural haired brush that was a little denser, it would have picked up a lot more product, but that's not really what I'm into because I don't want that, like, you know, very strong highlight. So I love that rose gold sheen it left on my cheekbones right there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a little, you know, first impressions that I wanted to, you know, give you guys because I don't know about you. It's not that I've been living under a rock, but I have never bought a Natasha Denona palette just because it's been very intimidating for me. It's just very pigmented. Even the swatches you see online are just so dark. And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it work, you know? And these Rephr brushes were, and like I said, it's a first impressions, worth every penny. Super soft. They really, it was an effortless job I had to do with blending. They really allowed a lot of control picking up the product. Although they are natural haired brushes, you do have control of how much product you actually want to pick up. They're much softer than I thought. Would I say that they're softer than my synthetic brushes? No, because they are natural haired brushes, and you know, my synthetic brushes are, I mean, very soft, but I can't use my synthetic brushes with a Natasha Denona palette. The only shades I would be able to dip into would be the matte shades. I wouldn't be able to dip into any of the shimmery shades. Literally, my synthetic brushes do not pick up the shimmery shades. I don't know what the science is behind it, but there's a reason why people use natural haired brushes a lot when they use like Palette+Rephr palettes and Natasha Denona palettes. I just believe this formula is different and it requires a different brush if you don't want to use your fingers. If you're okay with using your fingers, then have at it. I don't think you're gonna need natural hair brushes. These Rephr has an Instagram account, and I signed up for the their concept store, I think that's what it's called, to be able to get these at a discounted price, because again, I wasn't sure and I just didn't know what to expect because I've never used a natural hair brush. But I really love it. I think it's amazing, and if you want a natural hair brush that's affordable, right here. Just my first impressions, I really like it. I don't know what the best way to clean these brushes are. So leave me a comment down below what cleaning method you guys think works best with natural hair brushes to make them last. I'm used to always washing my brushes with a Johnson & Johnson baby soap, and that's what I wash all of my synthetic brushes with, because I find that to be the softest formula for my synthetic brushes. Leave me a comment down below with any information, or any comment, helpful information for a newbie like me who is introducing herself to all these new products. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching. I know this video is super long, so if you're still here, I appreciate it. I really do. You could have been doing anything else right now, but you decided to be here with me. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time, guys. Bye.